John D. Rockefeller was a man whose name is known all over the world. He is famous for being one of the richest people in history and for his work in the oil industry. But his story is not just about money. It is about hard work, determination, and a desire to make the world a better place. This story will take you through his early years, his rise to wealth, the challenges he faced, and how he became one of the greatest philanthropists of his time. John Davison Rockefeller was born on the 8th of July, 1839, in a small town called Richford, New York. He was the second of 6 children born to William Avery Rockefeller and Eliza Davison. His father was a traveling salesman who sold all kinds of items, from vegetables to medicines. He was often away from home, leaving his family to fend for themselves. His mother, on the other hand, was a homemaker who was serious and hard-working. John's family did not have much money. They lived a simple life, and his parents often struggled to make ends meet. From a young age, John learned that money was important. He watched his mother carefully manage their household finances and save every penny. She taught him that wasting money was not an option. John took these lessons to heart. When John was about 7 years old, his family moved to the nearby town of Owego, New York. This move opened up more opportunities for him. He was able to attend school for a little while, where he learned to read, write, and do math. John enjoyed school and was a good student. However, he had to leave school when he was around 14 years old. Like many children of his time, he had to work to help support his family. John took various jobs as a teenager to help out. He sold candy and vegetables and worked as a clerk in a local store. He was always looking for ways to earn money. Even as a young boy, he showed signs of being a smart businessman. He would often save his earnings instead of spending them on toys or games. John's mother instilled a strong work ethic in him. She taught him to be careful with money and to save for the future. This lesson became a guiding principle in John's life. He learned the importance of budgeting and managing his finances at a young age. John would often keep track of his earnings and expenses in a small notebook. This habit would follow him throughout his life. John's father, William, was a different influence in his life. He was charming and outgoing, but he was often away from home due to his work. His father's absence made John more responsible at a young age. He learned to rely on himself and to work hard to achieve his goals. At the age of 16, John got his first real job as an assistant bookkeeper at a produce company in Cleveland, Ohio. This job was a turning point in his life. He learned how to keep records, manage money, and understand the importance of financial planning. John was diligent in his work, and he quickly gained a reputation for being responsible and trustworthy. In his position, John was responsible for tracking the company's finances. He wrote down every cent that came in and went out. He kept everything organized, and this attention to detail would serve him well in his future business ventures. From his very first paycheck, he did something unusual for someone his age. Instead of spending his money on things he wanted, he wrote everything down in a small notebook. This habit would follow him throughout his life. Even as a teenager, John showed signs of being a smart businessman. He started to think about how he could make more money. He learned that if he saved his earnings, he could invest in small businesses. He was always looking for opportunities to improve his financial situation. While working at the produce company, John also learned valuable lessons about the importance of hard work and dedication. He watched how the business was run and paid attention to what made it successful. He was not afraid to ask questions and learn from others. This curiosity and eagerness to learn would help him later in life when he started his own businesses. After working as an assistant for a few years, John saved enough money to start his own business. In 1859, he partnered with a friend named Maurice Clark to create a small trading company called Clark and Rockefeller. They bought and sold goods like grain, hay, and other supplies. John was determined to make this business successful. During this time, something big happened that would change John's life forever. Oil was discovered in Pennsylvania. This discovery was a turning point for many people, but John quickly recognized the potential of this new industry. He saw that oil could be refined into kerosene, which was a popular fuel for lamps and heating. John understood that the world was going to need a lot of oil. In 1863, John and Maurice Clark started their first oil business in Cleveland. They began by refining crude oil, turning it into kerosene for lamps. Kerosene was a new and popular fuel source at the time. John was smart and knew how to run his business efficiently. He focused on making the best quality product at the lowest price. John quickly realized that there was a lot of competition in the oil industry. Many other companies were trying to get a piece of the pie. To succeed, he knew he had to find a way to stand out. He did this by improving the refining process and reducing costs, which allowed him to sell kerosene at lower prices than his competitors. In 1870, John founded the Standard Oil Company. The name represented quality and reliability. He aimed to create a company that would set the standard for the oil industry. John was not just focused on making money. He wanted to build a company that would last. He believed that if he provided good products and services, success would follow. One of John's key strategies was to control every part of the oil production process. He wanted to eliminate waste and increase efficiency. He invested in new technology and methods that allowed him to refine oil more effectively. This approach helped Standard Oil grow rapidly. As Standard Oil grew, John was not afraid to expand his operations. He began to buy out smaller oil companies, allowing him to increase his market share. When he saw a smaller oil company struggling, he would approach its owner and make an offer to buy them out. Many owners accepted his offers because they knew that Standard Oil was powerful and successful. They wanted to join forces with him rather than compete against him. John was a master at making deals. He negotiated contracts with railroads to transport oil at lower prices than his competitors. This strategy allowed him to cut costs and sell oil at lower prices. As a result, more people bought oil from Standard Oil, making the company even more successful. By the 1880s, Standard Oil controlled nearly 90% of the oil refining in the United States. This was an incredible achievement for one man and one company. John D. Rockefeller had become one of the wealthiest men in the world, but with great success came great criticism. As Standard Oil grew, many people began to feel that John's power was too great. Small business owners complained that they could not compete with Standard Oil. They felt that John was using unfair tactics to eliminate competition. The public began to see him as a monopolist, someone who wanted to control the entire oil industry. John believed that he was providing a valuable service to society by making oil affordable and accessible. He saw himself as a businessman who was creating jobs and helping the economy grow. However, public opinion was shifting, and many people began to call for action against him. In response to growing concerns, the government started to investigate Standard Oil. In 1890, Congress passed the Sherman Antitrust Act, which aimed to prevent monopolies and promote competition. This law was created to protect small businesses from being crushed by larger companies. Despite the law, John continued to expand his empire. He believed that he was doing nothing wrong by running a successful business. He saw himself as a provider of essential goods and services. However, public pressure mounted, and the government began to take a closer look at Standard Oil's practices. In 1911, after years of legal battles, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that Standard Oil was indeed a monopoly and ordered it to be broken up into smaller companies. This was a significant moment in American history. The court believed that John's control over the oil industry was harmful to competition and to consumers. John D. Rockefeller lost direct control of Standard Oil, but interestingly, he owned shares in all the smaller companies that resulted from the breakup. This meant that even after the split, his wealth continued to grow. He became the first person in American history to have a fortune of $1 billion. As John aged, he began to reflect on his life and his legacy. He realized that he wanted to give back to society. In the second half of his life, he became one of the greatest philanthropists in American history. He believed that wealthy individuals had a responsibility to help those in need. John established the Rockefeller Foundation in 1913, which aimed to improve public health, education, and scientific research. He donated millions of dollars to build universities, hospitals, and research centers. His contributions helped fund important medical research, including the development of vaccines and treatments for diseases. The Rockefeller Foundation also supported initiatives aimed at improving education. John believed that education was the key to progress and success. He funded scholarships and helped establish institutions that provided educational opportunities for all. One of the most significant impacts of John D. Rockefeller's philanthropy was in the field of public health. He funded medical research to combat diseases such as malaria and tuberculosis. His contributions helped develop vaccines and treatments that saved countless lives. In 1901, he founded the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, now known as Rockefeller University. This institution has been at the forefront of medical breakthroughs and has contributed to many significant advancements in science and health. The institute has produced several Nobel Prize winners and has played a crucial role in understanding various diseases. John D. Rockefeller was also a strong advocate for education. He believed that education was essential for personal growth and the betterment of society. He donated large sums of money to establish educational institutions, including the University of Chicago. His contributions helped create schools that provided quality education to many students. He believed that everyone, regardless of their background, should have access to education. John's philanthropy in education helped thousands of young people pursue their dreams and achieve their goals. In 1864, John D. Rockefeller married a woman named Laura Spelman. Laura was a strong influence in his life, and she shared his values of hard work and philanthropy. Together, they had 4 daughters and 1 son: Elizabeth, Alice, Edith, and Margaret, and their son, John D. Rockefeller, Jr. John was a devoted family man. He wanted to provide a good life for his family, and he instilled in his children the same values that his mother had taught him: hard work, frugality, and generosity. He believed in teaching his children the importance of managing money wisely. He did not want them to become spoiled or lose sight of the values he held dear. John and Laura made it a point to teach their children the importance of giving back to the community. They would often involve their children in charitable activities, showing them the value of helping others. John wanted his children to understand that wealth came with responsibility. John's son, John D. Rockefeller, Jr., would go on to play a significant role in continuing his father's philanthropic efforts. He became involved in many charitable activities and worked to carry on the family's legacy of giving back. John Jr. was very dedicated to his father's ideals, and made sure to support causes that were important to the family. John D. Rockefeller lived a long life. He passed away on the 23rd of May, 1937, at the age of 97. His journey, from a poor boy in a small town to one of the richest men in the world, is a remarkable story of perseverance, hard work, and vision. His life teaches us many important lessons. He showed that it is possible to achieve great things through determination and careful planning. He also demonstrated the importance of giving back to society. John believed that wealth should be used to help others and improve the world. While Standard Oil was often criticized for its monopolistic practices, it also played a significant role in shaping the modern oil industry. The company set the standard for efficiency and quality in oil production. Many of the practices and technologies developed by Standard Oil became the foundation for the oil industry as we know it today. John D. Rockefeller's methods of refining oil, transporting it, and marketing it were revolutionary. He introduced innovations that made the oil business more efficient and profitable. For example, he was one of the first to use pipelines to transport oil, which significantly reduced costs compared to using railroads. John D. Rockefeller's life is filled with valuable lessons. Here are some key takeaways. 1. Hard work pays off. John worked tirelessly to achieve his dreams. He started from nothing and built an empire through dedication and perseverance. 2. Be smart with money. From a young age, John learned the importance of managing money wisely. He saved diligently and made informed decisions about his finances. 3. Embrace opportunities. When oil was discovered, John saw an opportunity that many others missed. He took risks and seized the moment, which led to his success. 4. Give back. Later in life, John recognized the importance of philanthropy. He used his wealth to help others and improve society. 5. Family matters. John valued his family and instilled important values in his children. He believed in providing a good example and teaching them the importance of hard work and generosity. As we reflect on the life of John D. Rockefeller, we see a man who overcame many challenges to become one of the most successful entrepreneurs in history. His journey from a poor boy to a billionaire is inspiring, and his commitment to philanthropy shows that true success is not just about accumulating wealth, but also about making a difference in the world. John D. Rockefeller's story is a reminder that anyone can achieve their dreams with hard work, determination, and a willingness to give back. His legacy continues to influence generations, and his contributions to society will not be forgotten. In conclusion, John D. Rockefeller's life is a fascinating tale of ambition, hard work, and generosity. From his humble beginnings in New York to becoming one of the wealthiest men in history, his journey is one that teaches valuable lessons about life and success. As you reflect on his story, think about what you can learn from him. Consider how you can apply his lessons to your own life. Remember that every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your dreams. Whether it is through education, hard work, or helping others, your journey is just as important as the destination. Thank you for joining me in exploring the life of John D. Rockefeller. I hope his story inspires you to pursue your dreams and make a difference in the world.